Danny Masterson and Bijou Phillips were seemingly in it for the long haul. The That 70s show actor and model were romantically linked for almost 20 years until things took a dark turn for the worst. A few years after the pair started building a family of their own, Danny was accused of multiple sexual assault allegations. Amid the startling news, the Connecticut native filed for divorce from Danny. And now she is making some big changes. Join us as we explore all this and more. Let's start with their relationship timeline. After meeting at a celebrity poker game, the twosome started dating. Every guy at the table was flirting with me but Danny, Phillips recalled to Paper magazine in 2009. He wasn't laughing at my jokes. I was like, who is this Danny Masterson and what does he think he's doing? Masterson confessed at the time that he only knew his now wife by reputation only, calling her a little crazy girl. He continued, after Vegas and talking to her a few times, I was shocked by how unbelievably intelligent she was. She knew every book I had ever read. I was like, this girl is amazing. After a couple of years of dating, Phillips revealed to Us Weekly if she saw an engagement and wedding in their future. It's not a yes, it's not a no. It just sort of is, you know? She shared before teasing her best relationship tips. I don't know, we just do. I wish I had more advice. This is my hidden tip, not talking. Then, in October 2011, Masterson married the model in an intimate ceremony at an Irish castle. After marriage, in 2014, the twosome's first child, daughter Fianna Francis, was born on February 19th. After that, Bijou, who had been privately battling kidney disease for several years, underwent a transplant in April 2017. Masterson, for his part, assisted her recovery progress. My lady has been slowly dying for the past 7 years of an incurable kidney disease. She was given the gift of an encore by a tall angel, he wrote via Instagram after the surgery. Our daughter will have a mother. We do not take lightly how incredibly fortunate we are. 100% successful transplant. Now the real work begins for her to silence any chance of rejection. Our deepest gratitude to a perfect transplant team. And a life owed to a tall drink of water, Slanta. Amid the Yes Man star's misconduct scandal in 2020, they celebrated Fianna's kindergarten graduation as a family. Then, Masterson and Bijou celebrated their 9th wedding anniversary in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. After this came the tragedy that changed their lives forever. In September 2023, Los Angeles judge Charlene F. Olmedo sentenced that 70s show actor Danny Masterson to 30 years to life in prison for raping 2 women. A jury convicted Masterson in May. His accusers said he sexually assaulted them at his Hollywood Hills home after plying them with alcohol in the early aughts. Sitting in the courtroom for his sentencing hearing, Masterson watched while his accusers recounted the impact their assaults had on their lives. He wore a suit and had no visible reactions to the accusers' testimonies, according to the Associated Press. Masterson has not shown an ounce of remorse for the pain he caused, one of his victims said. I knew he belonged behind bars for the safety of all the women he came into contact with. I am so sorry, and I'm so upset. I wish I'd reported him sooner to the police. While he was convicted on 2 counts of rape, Masterson has 5 accusers who allege that the Church of Scientology suppressed them from reporting the former actor, formerly a lifelong member, to the LAPD. While the LAPD launched an investigation into Masterson in 2017, the actor furiously denied the women's allegations, releasing a lengthy statement through his representative that disparaged the accusers and suggested they had only come forward because they'd been in contact with Leah Remini, who was then working on a television series speaking out against the Church of Scientology. 2 more victims also came forward with rape allegations that year, prompting Masterson's agency to drop him and Netflix to fire him from the ranch. 3 of the accusers who testified in the LA trial filed a lawsuit against the actor and the Church of Scientology in 2019, alleging that they were stalked after their police reports. Masterson's defense team unsuccessfully tried to block testimony about the church from the trial, arguing it would bias the jury. A judge ruled that the women could testify to their feelings that the church had suppressed them. For his part, Masterson pleaded not guilty to all 3 counts of forcible rape. The judge declared a mistrial after jurors deadlocked in that first trial, per the Los Angeles Times. The recent retrial focused on the same allegations, but this time around, prosecutors also argued that Masterson had drugged his accusers before assaulting them. Ahead of Masterson's sentencing, more than 50 people wrote letters to Olmedo supporting the disgraced actor, including his That 70s Show co-stars Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. Kunis wholeheartedly vouched for Masterson's exceptional character in her letter, while Kutcher praised him as a role model and a positive influence, adding, "Over our 25-year relationship, I don't recall him ever lying to me." These statements did not sway Olmedo, who during the hearing said, "Mr. Masterson, you are not the victim here. Your actions 20 years ago took away another person's voice and choice, One way or another, you will have to come to terms with your prior actions and their consequences. Remini publicly showed support for Masterson's victims after the sentence was handed down, expressing relief that this dangerous rapist will be off the streets and unable to violently assault and rape women with the help of Scientology. Now, it appears that even the church wants to wash Masterson off its hands, reportedly expelling him and branding him a suppressive person, the same label some of the actor's victims allegedly received after they reported their assaults. In May 2023, when Masterson was found guilty of rape, Phillips let out a pained cry and began sobbing when the verdict was read, per the LA Times. Months later, the U.S. confirmed Phillips filed for divorce from Masterson on September 18th, 2 weeks after the actor was sentenced to 30 years to life in his sexual assault retrial. Later that month, a source exclusively told Life and Style that Bijou's decision was difficult and painful, but she feels it's for the best, that she ends things with Danny and moves on with her life. Of course, Danny is upset. He never saw it coming. Bijou was just talking to his lawyers about the appeal. Now she's done this, the insider told Life and Style, detailing that their divorce is going to get ugly. There wasn't a prenup, and Bijou has no income right now. She hasn't acted or modeled in years. The civil suit brought against him by his victims could clean Danny out. Now only recently, the estranged wife of Danny Masterson recently parted ways with the controversial religion of Scientology after the That 70s Show actor was allegedly kicked out due to his rape convictions. Bijou left a few weeks after she found out that Danny had been declared an SP, suppressive person, for not living up to the standards of the church. A source spilled to a news publication of Phillips, whose decision to leave Scientology came months after filing for divorce from Masterson. In Bijou's case, she had nothing to lose and wasn't about to cut ties with Danny per Scientology's disconnection rules. Bijou would never do that to her daughter. Plus her sisters, her close friends, none of them are Scientologists. The confidant continued regarding the church's policies, requiring all family members to stop contact with a loved one once they are removed from the religion. Phillips and Masterson share a 9-year-old daughter, and the mom of one seems to still want her child to know her father, despite his 30-year prison sentence, which began in September 2023 after he was found guilty of 2 counts of rape in May of last. Throughout this difficult time, the source noted Phillips' sister, Chinna, who's married to Alec Baldwin's younger brother, Billy, has been extremely supportive of her younger sibling despite being a devoted Christian. Chinna has been a rock for Bijou, and even though she's passionate about her own religion, she would never force anything onto Bijou. She doesn't have to because she walks the talk, the insider dished. Danny, on the other hand, was raised around family members practicing Scientology. Though his stepfather, Joe Reach, and mom, Carol Masterson, were members of the Sea Org, a clergy of controversial faith, the Masterson family has been tight-lipped on whether or not they have left the church. But I can't imagine them cutting ties with Danny. It's a toxic mess. The whole thing, the source detailed regarding the unknown. Scientology's biggest threat now is Danny, and whether or not he will blow the lid on the church and its secrets, meaning what they told him to do, how to handle the rape allegations. It's far from over, especially with the civil suits coming up, the confidant concluded. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.